Okey, selamat pagi semua. Okey, so hari ini kita akan masuk kepada um, bab 10 iaitu Consumer Mathematics Financial Management. Okay, so I believe this chapter is not a new chapter for you. You have learned this in your lower form. Okay, and this year you are going to learn how to manage your financial. Okay, why do we learn this subject? Okay, as we know, nowadays, okay, when the young people, when they finish their study and then they go out for work, okay, so most of them, okay, they have how to say, the debt burden with them. Okay, tak perlu cikgu terangkan, tak perlu jauh kita tengok contoh. Okay, contohnya, okay, keluar saja daripada belajar, okay, baru nak start kerja, sudah dibebani dengan hutang PTPTN contohnya. Okay, itu yang pertama. Okay, so bila start kerja nanti, okay, kita punya lifestyle, okay, kadang-kadang kita memang kita nak beli rumah, kita nak kita nak beli kereta, okay. So itu juga kita akan um, menambahkan hutang kita. Begitu juga bukan itu saja, okay, keperluan asas kita, okay, keperluan entertainment kita, okay, bagaimana kita nak bagi belanja kepada ibu bapa. Okay, so semua itu, okay, melibatkan kewangan. Okay, dan kalau kita tidak dapat menguruskan kewangan dengan baik, okay, dia akan membebankan kita. Okay, membebankan kita dengan hutang-hutang. Okay, so here we say, let's see 10.1, financial planning and management. Okay, so we look at the first one, financial management process. Okay, so financial management refers to a future planning process to meet personal financial goal through comprehensive and sound financial planning and management. Okay, dia adalah satu perancangan masa depan, okay, proses perancangan masa depan, okay, di mana kita dapat mencapai, okay, um, personal financial goal, okay, melalui, okay, comprehensive and sound financial planning and management. Okay, so financial management includes cash, okay, maksudnya duit yang kita ada lah, okay, saving, okay, credits, investment and protection management. Okay, so effective financial management can be ensured that an individual is not involved in serious financial problem. Okay, among the importance of financial management include, okay, first, knowing the current financial position. Okay, macam mana keadaan kewangan kita sekarang ni. Okay, kemudian kedua, B, menggunakan duit dengan lebih efektif. Okay, use money more effectively. Okay, C, avoid excessive spending. Okay, and then avoid unmanaged debt. Okay, ini bila kita terlebih hutang, kita tidak, kadang-kadang kita tak tahu macam mana nak handle hutang tu. Okay, and then have sufficient saving to achieve personal life goal. Okay, ini contohnya macam uh, retirement kita nanti. Okay, so pastikan kewangan kita mencukupi lah. Okay, and then be able to deal with emergencies such as accidents, medical issue, illness and loss of employment. Okay, terutamanya pada musim pandemik sekarang ni, kita tak tahu apa-apa mungkin terjadi. So kita punya emergency fund tu mesti ada. Okay, so sebab emergency fund kita tu macam mana cakap, dia tidak akan mengganggu saving kita. Okay, so sebab kalau kadang-kadang macam medical illness ni, dia memerlukan kewangan yang banyak. Okay, loss of employment. Okay, sekurang-kurangnya kita ada 6 bulan simpanan. Okay, Kemudian seterusnya, to strengthen relationship with family members and friends because do not need to borrow money. Okay, selalunya kadang-kadang ini boleh menyebabkan kerenggangan dengan hubungan dengan ahli keluarga dan rakan-rakan. Okay, bila kita nak pinjam duit semua tu kan. Okay, so kadang-kadang orang akan melarikan diri dari kita. Okay, oh orang ni nak pinjam duit ni. So dia pun melarikan diri selalu kadang-kadang. So ini boleh mengganggu hubungan lah. Okay. Dan paling utama, we are free from financial worries either in short term or long term. Okay, so ini yang paling penting lah. Sebab bila kita tidak ada masalah kewangan, okay, we are happy, we can do whatever we want, okay, without worries. Okay, tetapi bila kita ada masalah ni, macam mana saya nak bayar hutang saya, macam mana macam mana saya nak bayar hutang saya nak beli ni tapi saya tak ada duit. Okay, so ini sangat penting terutama for our mental health lah. Okay, mental health. Okay, and then next, okay, the diagram below shows the effective personal financial management process. Okay, so first, okay, nanti kita akan tengok satu persatu the details okay, but I just want to go fast with this. Okay, first you have to set the goal. Second is evaluating financial status. Okay, creating financial plans, carry out financial plan, and lastly, reviewing and revising progress. So after this, we will see what does it mean by this five process. Okay, five process. Okay, now first, okay, is setting goals. Okay, so untuk proses yang pertama adalah setting goals. Okay, so untuk setting goal, untuk set goal, the financial goal must be prioritized and specific. Okay, so nanti kita tengok spesifik tu macam mana. Okay, so setting financial goal must based on time bound, which are short term, okay, less than 1 year. Okay, for example, if you want to buy something that you like, okay, for example, a bicycle, okay, maybe you want to change your rim for your motorbike, okay, and a sportway, okay, okay, so itu adalah short term goal. Okay, and then the second one is medium term goal between 1 to 5 years. For example, if you want to purchase a computer, smartphone, okay, something that apa orang cakap lebih mahal lah. Okay, and then lastly, long-term goal. Long-term goal is more than 5 years. For example, okay, walaupun kamu masih muda sekarang, I mean baru 16 tahun, but you have to think, okay, bila kamu start kerja sudah, of course, you have to save for your retirement. Okay, you have to save for your retirement, and then of course, next time you want to build a family. Okay, build a family. So memang kita nak untuk education anak-anak lah. Sebab education anak-anak bukannya sesuatu yang murah juga. Okay, so kalau katakan seorang anak, kamu nak next time kamu nak hantar anak kamu universiti, okay, you need a lot of money. Okay, seorang kalau dah lebih daripada seorang, 2-3 orang anak, okay, you need more. Okay, so that one is for children education lah. Okay, and then the length of time taken to achieve your financial depends on a monthly saving. Okay, for example, if you do the short-term goal, for example, if you want to buy a bicycle, so let's say the bicycle is around just a simple bicycle, right, around 300 to 400. Okay, so for example, every month you can save, for example, 30 ringgit, okay, every month. So how long can you what is the length for the time taken to save 300 if you can save 30 ringgit? Okay, so maybe you can take 10 months. Okay, 10 months. Okay, after 10 months, you have 300. You can purchase the bicycle already. So itu bergantung. Let's say if you can only save, like for example, 15 ringgit every month. So jangka masa yang kamu perlukan untuk dapat 300 tu lebih lama lah, mungkin 20 bulan, okay, dalam setahun lebih. Okay, so jangka masa itu bergantung kepada berapa yang kamu boleh simpan selama sebulan itu. Okay, so the need must be prioritized than the one when setting the goal. So yang paling penting kamu mesti utamakan apa itu keperluan. Okay, what do you need? Okay, daripada apa yang kamu mahu. Okay, selalunya kita ni tak dapat bezakan apa yang kita perlukan dan apa yang kita mahu. Okay, semua kita mahu dan semua itu kita rasa macam kita perlukan. Okay, so you have to differentiate that. Kamu perlu bezakan. Okay, what do we need? We need like food, shelter, clothing. Okay, makanan, mesti ada tempat tinggal dan pakaian lah. Okay, tak perlu yang mewah-mewah. Okay, yang basic saja. Okay, manakala untuk what do you want is something the desire to live a luxury life such as jewelry, purchase and have a birthday party at hotel. Okay, ini sesuatu yang macam lebih mewah lah yang kamu boleh, yang kamu mahu. Okay, kehidupan untuk membuatkan kamu lebih selesa lah. Okay, so lastly, the smart approach can help individual in achieving their financial goal. Okay, ini nanti cikgu ada assignment yang akan suruh kamu buat lah. Okay, so, mana cikgu akan suruh kamu setkan goal kamu, okay, dan buat financial planning kamu berdasarkan smart approach ini. Okay, so what is smart approach? Okay, so the first one, S is for specific. The goal must be precise and clear to be easily identified and understood. Okay, for example, okay, goal kamu. Okay, mungkin kamu nak bercuti. Okay, lepas COVID ni dah reda, ada vaksin semua kan. Mungkin in 3 years time. Okay, so bercuti ke mana? Bercuti ke Korea. Okay, dalam masa 3 tahun yang akan datang. Okay, so masa dia tu mesti ada bila. Okay, mungkin 3 tahun yang akan datang adalah 2021, 22, 23, 2023. Okay, so mesti tahu. Okay, lepas tu measurable. The goal must be measurable, can be monitored and recorded. Okay, berapa perbelanjaan yang kamu perlukan? Okay, let's say you need around 5,000. Okay, so adakah attainable means that the goal must have opportunity to be achieved. Dapatkah? Okay, rasanya goal itu dicapai. Okay, realistic. Okay, pastikan itu realistic lah. So let's say, for example, you need to collect around 5,000 in 3 years. Okay, so 5,000 in 3 years. Okay, 3 years we have how many months? 36 months, right? Okay, so 5,000 divided by 36 months. Okay, that is around 140, 138, 140 every month. Okay, do you think you can save 140 every month? Okay, lepas tu the time bound. Okay, the goal must have a clear time frame. Okay, time frame. For example, starting when? Okay, starting today. For example, today is the 3rd of December. Until the 3rd of this, from 3rd of December 2020 until 3rd of December 2023. Okay, dia mesti ada jangka masa yang spesifik. Okay, jangan nanti, okay, bulan ni saya simpanlah 140. Okay, bulan depan pun saya simpan. Oh, bulan ketiga tu, saya ada ni pula, ada benda lain nak buat. So, saya tak simpan. Okay, tak boleh. Okay, so kalau kamu dalam situasi itu, kamu kena tengok baliklah kamu punya financial goal. Okay, so this is for setting goal, and then evaluating status, financial status. Okay, so asset and liabilities are the benchmark for evaluating our financial status. Okay, so asset consists a cash of saving, company shares, unit trust, and real asset. Asset means things that you have. Okay, yang kamu ada. Okay, and then liability incur refer to all types of financial obligation. Okay, credit debts, credit card debts, utility bills, and unsettled rent. Okay, liability maksudnya benda yang kamu hutang lah. Itulah maksud dia. Okay, benda yang kamu hutang, yang kamu perlu bayar. Okay, manakala aset ni benda yang kamu ada. Okay, kira harta kamu lah. Aset. Okay, so liability ni adalah hutang kamu lah. Okay, yang kita ringkaskan lah macam tu lah. Okay, and then create financial plan. Okay, two important component in construction of financial plan are the source of income and expenses. Okay, so there are two important component. Okay, first is income, second is expenses. Okay, income ini adalah kamu punya duit yang masuk lah. Okay, income yang masuk. Okay, lepas tu expenses ni kamu keluarkan. Okay, so income, actually we have two incomes. One is active income, second is passive income. Okay, active income become our main incomes. For example, our monthly salary, okay, our allowance, okay, and then your commission. Okay, manakala kalau passive income is our side income. For example, dividend receive and rent receive. Okay, so maksudnya sini macam dividend, if you, for example, if you have fixed deposit dekat bank, okay, so fixed deposit, and then the dividend hujung tahun tu nanti itu adalah kamu punya passive income lah. Okay, sama juga macam kalau kamu ada ASB kan. Okay, ASB after macam kita tahu hujung bulan ni dia akan tutup, and then next year dia akan buka semula kan. So dividen yang kamu dapat itu adalah kita punya passive income. Okay, ataupun contohnya kalau kamu beli rumah, okay, tapi kamu tak tinggal kat sana, and then you rent out your house. Okay, so the rent that you get every month, okay, itu adalah kamu punya passive income. Okay, and then expenses adalah your cash outflow. Okay, sorry, tadi income adalah cash inflow kan. So expenses are cash outflow. Okay, so cash outflow we also have two types. Okay, the first one is fixed expenses. Okay, these fixed expenses we have to must be paid and spent, such as housing loan installment and insurance. Okay, ini yang fixed lah. Okay, variable expenses, expenses that vary every month, such as groceries and electrical bills. Okay, so now let's say a positive cash flow exists when the total income exceed the total expenses. Okay, so maksudnya di sini, let's say saya punya total income adalah total income saya kan setiap bulan, okay, adalah dalam lingkungan 2,300. Okay, tetapi ini saya punya income saya punya income. Okay, kemudian saya juga ada expenses saya kan, perbelanjaan saya. So perbelanjaan saya katakan dalam 1,800. So kalau kita tengok di sini, saya punya expenses dia kurang daripada income saya, betul? Okay, so bila dia kurang, saya ada lebih dalam berapa ni? 2,300 tolak 1,800. Okay, saya ada lebih dalam 500 kan. Okay, so ini adalah positive cash flow. Okay, but negative cash flow pula, let's say my income is 2,300, tapi my expenses is around 2,400. Okay, so this one will become negative cash flow sebab saya punya perbelanjaan sudah melebihi saya punya income. Okay, pendapatan. Okay, now Before creating a financial plan, the following steps can be considered. Okay, so ini kita boleh tengok lah. Okay, first determine the financial goal to be achieved. Okay, make an initial budget to achieve each goal. Calculate monthly saving needed to achieve each goal. Analyze spending behavior. Set a time frame to achieve each goal. Determine income strategies that will help to achieve the financial goal. So ini kita boleh ikutlah step ini. Ya, bukan maksud cikgu, kamu boleh consider bila kamu nak buat financial plan. Okay, so next is carrying out financial plan. Okay, when carrying out the financial plan, an individual must follow the financial plan. Okay, be ready to make changes to your actual expenses to match the planned expenses in order to generate a positive cash flow. Okay, so maksudnya di sini kamu memang kena disiplin lah, itu yang paling penting. The financial can be only succeed if it's carry out with discipline, passion and flexibility. Ini maksud cikgu tadi lah. Okay, next, the last one is reviewing and revising the progress. Okay, review the progress of the implementation of the plan financial from time to time to make sure the cash flow is always positive. Okay, so kamu kena di sini kamu kena ada satu plan kamu tu kan. You have to kamu kena sentiasa kawal lah. Okay, tengok adakah perbelanjaan kamu melebihi kamu punya pendapatan. Okay, so kalau dia melebihi, kamu kena tukar semula kamu punya financial goal. Okay, so macam sini kan dia kata, if there is a negative cash flow, review the actual expenses. Okay, avoid from using the emergency fund unless you are forced to. Okay, reduce or avoid variables expenses such as entertainment. Okay, so entertainment, okay, entertainment mungkin kamu boleh tetapkan satu amount. Okay, mungkin about 10% from your income. Okay, jangan bila dah lebih tu, that's it, stop. Okay, contohnya, kawan saya ajak tengok wayang lah, kawan saya ajak makan lah, kawan saya ajak minum Starbucks lah. Okay, so kalau expenses tu nanti di dalam lingkungan financial plan kamu tu, okay, it's okay. Tapi kalau dia melebihi, so kamu kena pandai-pandai tolaklah mana satu yang kamu tidak perlukan. Ingat, okay. So the most important thing, kamu mesti utamakan yang kamu perlukan, what you need, not what you want. Okay, and then change the financial goal if they are not realistic for your monthly income. So make sure you are managed to save certain amount, okay, every month. Kalau dia terlampau membebankan, okay, so you have to change again. That's why you need to review and revise your plan. Okay, so I think that's it for this part. Okay, so if you have any question, okay, you can ask me question in our personal group. Okay, after you watch this video, okay, you can always ask me question. Okay, so I encourage each one of you ask at least one question. Okay, so I'll stop here. Okay, so the next video I will give you the answer for the exercise before. Okay, so you can check it together. Okay, so I stop here.